Season 2 of the Pat and JT podcast.
Oh man, I'm here at last. The best time, always gonna be the best. Come on!
Exclusively on the Hurrdat Media Network.
And you can find, speaking of Hurrdat Media Network, hurrdatmedia.com. Click on network. You'll see other shows that we have on our network that we produce, from Hollywood Raw to the Shuley Show.
Yeah.
We have just a ton of shows on there.
61.
So amazing.
I know.
We
It's
love
fantastic.
it. Yeah. So, and what a lot of people don't realize is that all these shows are global shows and they're produced right here, which we're super proud of.
Really, very, very much so. We've got podcasters coast to coast.
Yep.
that we're working with, but also we have locally, which is really a lot of fun for us. And we've got several shows that are very local and some businesses as well. But for us, it means a lot because we've been here for 20 some years and we get to stay in touch with the people that we know here in Omaha and in in the area, I guess you want to say in the region. And one of the things that comes along with that is we got a lot of great things going on in Omaha, and Union Omaha, the soccer team. We've been talking about them since it first started. I think we had Marty and when it was first being whispered about, right? Mm-hmm. Marty Cordero came in and he was super excited about this and waiting to do it. And today we've got the general manager with us, Peter Marlette. And welcome. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
This is our first chance to get to talk to you. You've been here with Omaha, with Union Omaha, I should say, 6 months.
Yes, and in Omaha, 6 months. Came for the job.
From where?
I'm originally from Buffalo, New York, but I came here from Dallas, Texas, and have been several places in between. So had never set foot in Nebraska before coming in and starting the job 6 months ago.
So did you hear about it through the grapevine, like the Zip Recruiter for soccer people, and then they said, hey, there's a job opening in Omaha?
Kind of, honestly.
Really?
Yeah. No, somebody in my, a friend of mine in my contact list saw the job or heard about the job and thought it fit me pretty well, knew that I was looking for a role like this one.
Yeah.
And said that I should send Marty an email. So I did, and Marty and I ended up talking that night for about an hour, and then the interview process got that was the easiest part of the interview process. Then it got pretty intense, and it lasted 5 or 6 weeks all in. It was a big decision for them, and there were a lot of candidates, and they felt the fit was right. I felt the fit was right, and I'm thrilled to be in Omaha. And
I think a job in sports in general is just would be so much fun. I know it's work and there's the serious side of it too, but just working in the sports industry would be so much fun.
Well, no question. And I played and I still follow just about every sport. But soccer always kind of was the sport for me.
Were you originally you said you're from the East Coast?
From Buffalo, New York.
New York. Did you grow up playing soccer?
Oh yeah.
And so college?
Yep.
Where'd you play? What'd you do?
So I played at a small liberal arts D3 school in Connecticut called Trinity College. Was a Division III All-American there, and then played professionally, mostly rehabbing from injuries the whole time.
So you rehab professionally?
Yeah, exactly. I got, in about 3 years of pursuing it, I got one full season of play.
That's hard. That's rough.
Yeah, that was tough. But that season was in Canberra, Australia, which is the capital of Australia and is a decent city but amazing country. Mm-hmm. And that was,
pretty awesome.
What an experience, yeah.
What was the injury?
Everything.
All of it.
I was going to add an S on the end.
What was the injuries?
Yeah. Everything.
All the girls liked soccer players, man. Growing up, it was like he played soccer. All the chicks were over watching the guys play soccer, and it was like, I didn't.
And what were you doing? Following the chicks.
Yeah. Wondering why they were going over to watch the soccer guys.
Why are you running away from me?
Don't you guys like people that don't do anything and just sit down?
Just sit here and watch with you.
You have to be like, just in general, soccer players, in my opinion, are the best athletes because you're constantly running. You're constantly running.
Yeah, and that is even changed recently. The way the game has gone strategically on the field, they're running more. And,
really?
Yes. So our players,
right?
No, our players, especially the way that we play, because our coach Jay Mims really embraces that high pressing and that pressuring the ball, which is just constant running. Our players kill themselves every game.
How do they condition themselves? What's like you already are when you get there, and then it's just practice?
Yeah,
or,
you better be when you get
right.
there.
You got to be hit the ground running literally.
Yeah, they have an off season about 2 months, but they better be training that whole time.
You
or they're
better not
gonna-
sit on the couch for 2 months.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
you won't be able to keep up.
And on the professional level, for all sports too, but specifically soccer, like when you're a pro, are you expected to show up in the top shape? Or are you expected to show up and like, okay, now we're going to really, the next 6 weeks, we're going to get you into gear and your run and drills and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I think ideally they're showing up in the top shape, but I don't know that that's expected. But you are expected to be able to get right into it and be in good enough shape that you can keep up with everybody else. But yeah, preseason, there's some conditioning, in preseason, of course, but no, they better be in shape when they show up.
Like, would somebody get in trouble if they showed up like with a boiler, like 20 pounds heavy and a belly? You're like, dude, what have you been doing? Because it's your job. It'd be like slacking around here where you're not putting stuff away. You're doing half-ass work. I'm assuming they'd get in trouble just like we would.
Yeah, absolutely. And our head coach, who I just mentioned, Jay Mims, I think he'd kill him.
Yeah. There'd be no trouble.
Yeah.
I'd be dead.
Yeah.
Right? That would be it. But you think about any sport, though, I think they show up in top form, ready to run the drills.
They better.
Yeah.
Right? So you're not getting there to get in shape. It's not like going to camp.
Yeah.
Not like going to fat camp. To
Right.
go get in shape. So what's coming up on the schedule? I know as we speak, it is the 29th
Friday
or
the
30th.
30th.
30th of July as we speak. So what's on the schedule?
Yeah, well, we do have a home game tomorrow night at 7 p.m. at Werner Park against North Texas Soccer Club, which is they're doing rough in the standings this year, but they're a really talented team. So,
Which, by the way, go ahead and wave your flag a little bit about Union Omaha.
Well, we are sitting in first place right now.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night will be the halfway point in the season, so for the 14th out of a 28-game regular season. So yeah, great start. But there are teams. We're 2 points ahead of the second place team. So and it's 3 points for a win, 1 for a tie, none for a loss. So
nothing's settled.
Not yet.
Not
we need to keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who still coming up? Like, who is your big competition right now? Who's having a fire year? Who else is really right there?
Yeah. Well, second place is Chattanooga Red Wolves. We tied them this year. We've played them once, and it was a battle. They ended up scoring in injury time in about the 92nd minute to tie the game up, but it was an absolute battle. They're a good team. As I just mentioned, North Texas, who's in town tomorrow night, they're in 11th place right now, but that is not reflective of the talent on their roster, right. So you never know what you're going to get with them. Yeah, Greenville. Greenville is, I believe, in third place right now.
How many teams are there?
12 teams in the league.
12 teams. Wow.
Yeah.
Omaha is such a soccer town. I didn't realize that until you guys
crazy.
came to town. I mean, my kids played soccer growing up, but you didn't. You just don't realize how much of a soccer town Omaha is.
They filled a need. They filled a hole. When they put this team on the map.
No, it's great. When I first got here, I couldn't believe the amount of soccer bars per capita. It's crazy.
Really?
It's crazy. Yeah.
Who knew?
Yep.
Right.
They're truly fans. That is just amazing. So if people want to get tickets, website probably is the easiest way.
Website's the best way to do it, which is unionomaha.com/tickets if you want to get straight there, but unionomaha.com, you'll find your way pretty easily.
I remember a friend of ours, Sherry, she's the one that introduced us, and she works with Union Omaha as well, but she had mentioned she's a huge fan.
Oh, yeah.
Huge fan. And she had mentioned something about the motto for the team and also about the number 1 jersey.
Yes. So the motto for the team, which is new this year, is, well, it's only our second season. So, yeah. But is one means all and abbreviated OMA, which obviously works in Omaha.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yep.
That's brilliant. Who
Yeah.
thought of that?
We've got some good.
That's genius.
OMA. Wait a minute.
Wow.
Yeah.
So one means all. So then you take that a step further with the jersey.
Yes, exactly. So we actually, before the first game of the season, retired the number 1, so it will never be worn by a Union Omaha player. And the thought there was that we were giving it to the fans. So we will sell number 1 OMA jerseys in our store online. And we actually that jersey, that number 1, the first one that we printed and retired, is framed and in our locker room so the players can see who they're playing for, what they're playing for.
That's cool.
That is pretty awesome.
Isn't that cool? Last year, you guys made it to the championship game.
Yes, and then there was no championship game.
COVID.
Lame.
Yep.
Now we're back. And so how does this level of soccer line up kind of like Major League, Minor League Baseball does? Like does Omaha feed into a Major League soccer team?
No, so we are independent. So this season, there are 4 teams out of 12 that, and it's not like baseball with the AAA and the farm system, but there are 4 affiliated teams. They're owned by MLS owners. Mm-hmm. But next season, that will not be the case. They're going to be, next season will be 11 independent teams, no MLS-owned teams.
Oh, okay.
There's really being a separation there, and I prefer it.
That's a good thing.
Interesting, because I imagine there's some shenanigans when you have the influence from other teams. They're wanting to put their stamp on some things.
Well,
right?
there absolutely can be, and the MLS teams as well. They've been good. This is a relatively new league. It's its 3rd full season. And the MLS teams were great initially because they had the academy systems in place where they were developing their own players, and they had the MLS level first team. So you knew that they were going to put a quality product on the field right off the bat, not have to build out a brand new roster and structure from scratch. But the league has evolved, and I think we've evolved past
Interesting.
That.
Yeah, that's
That's
awesome.
fantastic. Well, welcome to Omaha.
Yeah, thank you.
First off, congratulations. I know working over there it's got to be not only just very satisfying, but it's got to be a lot of fun. Marty's a great guy. The whole office is full of great people. So best of luck through the rest of the season, man. I mean, I hope you guys come out. I want to see that championship game happen.
So we 6 teams make the playoffs, and we're sitting pretty right now, but got to get there, and we'll play into November if that's the case.
There you go.
Sweet.
Get your tickets.
And the link is in the description of the podcast to get those tickets.
Yes.
So, we appreciate it. It's nice to meet you, and thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Peter.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You got it. It's Pat and JT on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And again, link in the description to get those tickets.
Pat and JT Podcast, a Hurrdat Media Production.